Facebook has told their employees they can only ask a fellow colleague out once, and if they're rejected, they can't ask them out again, full stop. What do we think? Is this a step too far, Janet?
Well, I think when two people who work for the same employer go out together, it's difficult for everyone else they work with anyway, and it's particularly difficult if one of them is a boss and one's in a lower position, because it causes all sorts of resentment. But having said that, I'm not sure that it is Facebook's job to police what their staff get up to outside the office. I think it is a step too far, but it invades your privacy. But I do think that the success of the Me Too movement has led to us questioning, well, why are we assuming that all of this only applies to women hitting on men? I mean, I want to ask you guys, because you're on today, whether it's made you think about, first of all, how you approach women, or got, people you're out, looking for a date or something, how you relate to each other, because it's made us question relationships in all sorts of ways we never did.
Without question, earlier on when we were talking about this, the guys getting our opinions out there, every single one of us felt nervous about it. I think it's fair to say. And that means we have to talk about it. Had these cases not made it into the press and the hashtag #MeToo campaign, then we would know it exists. We've known it's existed for a long, long time, but we've turned a blind eye to it. All abuse is bad. There's not a single good bit of abuse out there. And anybody, whether you're a woman or a man, you have the right to be able to talk about it, and you have a right to also tell the world that actually this has happened to me. That's the first thing. Taking it back to Facebook, I think you are right, Janet. I don't know whether Facebook are the right people to police this. However, saying that, I do think that companies and corporations have to take some control and some responsibility to say, actually, we are showing the world that we're doing something about this, that we don't agree with this isn't right. Whether or not this is right or wrong, I don't know at the moment, because it's so new, I haven't had time to think about it. But I do think it's very important that we are discussing it on programmes like this, and corporations are discussing
I think it's interesting to hear a man's point of view on this, Jamie.
Yeah, I think, firstly, the campaign is fantastic, the Me Too campaign. It gets people's awareness out there, and, but like we said before, it isn't just men doing this, it's women as well. I mean, I was in a petrol station once with my 2 children, and a hen bus came along, and they'd obviously been drinking. And I walked in the petrol station with my children, and this girl came up to me and said, can I have a picture, can I have a picture? And then her mate came out of the petrol station, recognised who I was, and grabbed me, like, in the crotch area, in front of my children, So it doesn't just happen to women, it happens to men also. I don't know whether you guys have experienced it, doing personal appearances and stuff like that when people have had a drink, but...
Well, I mean, again, what the campaign stands for is correct. It's right. But there is this problem now where it has happened, many times back in the day when we used to go and do shows, and, you'd get grabbed. Even now, we go and do an appearance and someone will grab you, and I guess the way I always looked at it is, they're not meaning anything malicious, they're just having a bit of fun. But like I've said before, we also have to understand that there's people out there that are not OK with it. Just because I was OK with it, that someone did it to me, there's been times it's been slightly inappropriate, and I've gone, OK, do you know what I mean? Like, in front of my wife, even, someone's done that. And you kind of think, but I would never... Personally, I'm like, you know what, they probably didn't mean anything by it. But you've got to think of people that really do get affected by this. And we've got to... I think the main thing we've always got to remember is that no means no. And it's that one we've got to get across,
It's tough, because with those rules, my dad pursued my mum for months before they got together. So if they kind of stuck to the rules of only one date, they would have never got together. So I kind of think there's another side to it as well.
That's true.
Has it changed how you act around women, though? You said you've just come back from LA, Jamie. Has it made you think about how you're talking to women, or how you... Because you said you're quite a flirty sort of character.
I mean, where does it end? I mean, I know they've stopped the women doing the Formula One now, haven't they? Not every man is a sexual predator, and it's giving men a bad name. And look, I don't agree with it at all, and it's disgusting.
As long as there are more men running everything, you can see where a lot of women are coming from. The bottom line is, women are saying, hang on, white men heterosexual men have run everything for decades, and maybe it is a time for women to have their say and our standards to be recognised. And perhaps if some of us aren't comfortable with how men think it's the norm to behave, we need a bit of readjustment.
Yeah, but I think at the moment it's a blurred line, isn't it? Because most of us know where the line is, where you shouldn't cross the line.
Yeah.
But I think now it's even down to little things like if you go up and go, all right, darling, some women are offended by that. So as a man, I worry for my boys, when they go out.
I think it's important, really important, that in general, in a society now where we're so politically correct about everything, there are things, yes, I totally agree with, but let's not take the innocence out of everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely everything. You can't.
That's what I mean. Where's the line?
You can't
I
compliment
think it's
someone.
about recognising whether it's coming from a place of power or not. Are you abusing the position you're in to make me do something else?
That's
I think
true.
that's
That's
true.
Yeah.